Okay guys, as you know, with my channel, I like to show the hobby evolving, the latest technology, regardless of where it comes from, with speakers like Poporis taking electrostatics to a new level, digital like the Bach, and I've shown you with measurements, music clips, testimonials, you name it. And come down to Tampa, you'll be able to see the Bach and the Potpourri combined. However, I often get a question of, what if I didn't have this? What would be my choice for speakers? What about if I'm an analog guy, not a digital guy? What if I'm more traditional, or if I just like to sit down, put on an album, and listen old school? I'll stare at a wall for hours and listen to Pink Floyd, and I can definitely associate with that. That's how I grew up in the hobby. So what I wanted to feature for you today, some gear that would be at the very top of my list if that was my path as well, and things that are being advanced in that realm as well. So stay tuned. Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. This video actually dates back to April of last year. I took a trip out to California, but it was in the middle of all these other shows, Expo, Munich, going to Malaysia, and I didn't want it to get buried in the shrapnel of all that coverage. I put out too much content as it is for people to digest. So I saved this, but then I got so busy, until now I've been able to share it with you. And it's a visit to Rick Brown at Hi-Fi One. Another reason is I have shown you many videos from Rick Brown's place, including one of the features of today's video, his new Alsyvox speakers. And if you remember, he was a Tactile guy. Tactile Lacquers, one of the best speakers in the world. You rarely see anybody pivot from them. What made him pivot? Well, Alsyvox. And you saw in a prior video where I showed him installing them. But what I wanted to do, and I went back to here, is the fact that he had them recalibrate in terms of setup by Daniele, the owner and designer of Alsyvox, and that made a huge difference. Because, as I've shown with open baffle and line sources, and I love open baffle line sources, but there are, and even though Poporis as well, very directional, doesn't have a lot of sidewall reflections, very little ceiling and floor reflections, so you think, well, you could put it in any room. There is some merit to that, and we've seen it firsthand in certain places. However, that back wall reflection can be very problematic and trump the fact that it doesn't have sidewall reflections if you don't treat the back wall properly, especially with an elevated mid-range. And we see that often at shows when we go into these hotel rooms. And so all open baffles can benefit from either EQ or room treatments or placement issues. And that's what Daniele helped do at Rick's place, and the delta from before and after was quite impressive. So I wanted to share with you that and some music clips. And on top of that, Rick is one of the premier analog guys. He works with JR a lot. He's got the Dohmann turntable, which is, again, advancing the hobby. That one and the Wilson Benesch are among the best of the best. What I would own, cost no object, in the turntable realm. And then, not forgetting about one other thing with analog, the quality of the record. We're not talking about remastered stuff that's digital or cheap analog. We're talking about even lacquers you're going to hear today, which are very rare, very good pressings, very good music just in general to sit down and listen to. It's very hard nowadays for people to just sit down, stare at a wall and listen to music unless it's music that resonates with you. And usually high quality music from the past is something that does resonate with people, because that's when people did sit down, stare at a wall and just listen. Modern day music, not so much. It's more for a transient type listening experience. So what you're going to hear today and see today is the Alsyvox, the Dohmann turntable in action, lacquer turntables, and the Alsyvox, which a lot of people ask me which is better, the Alsyvox or the Potpourri. It's going to be an equation that's based on a lot of things. Aesthetics, number one. Obviously, I basically told them to make the sale. This is my taste, so this is why I prefer this. And you do have more color choices with the Potpourri, but the Alsyvox, in terms of these open baffle planar speakers, it's about the best looking, I think, with the highest wife acceptance factor, because they're either these panels like Magnapan that are just like room dividers, or there are some like, I think Claris's looks cool, but it's more for a manly technology type look. The Alsyvox has like an artistic look that I think resonates overall really good. So it's one of the best looking. So aesthetics is going to be the personal taste. Then you got the aspect of crossover, and you can't beat the crossover in the Alsyvox. It's almost a $30,000 upgrade, I think, if you get the upgraded one. And yeah, I do like Poporis a little bit better because there's no crossover parts, period. And there's nothing better than zero. However, if you're going to have a crossover, a passive crossover, then this is the way to go. The Alsyvox has one of the best and little downsides. And their ribbon tweeter, full range ribbon tweeter, does give a lot of advantages. And in fact, the Ultra panel with the Poporis is probably necessary to get par on that aspect. But again, very similar in many respects. But then also pricing is going to be part of your budget, what's material to you and not material to you. But in terms of planar speakers, which are different than electrostatics because of the crossover and whatnot, Alsyvox does it, I think, among the best, if not the best. Wisdom is another one I would throw in there. I owned Wisdoms, and their active crossover, if you're going to do a crossover, I think is, second best to no crossover. An active crossover is very powerful. I like that. But when you're talking about passive parts, a traditional planar speaker, this is among the best of the best. And I, many times after hearing them, I started listening to them at 2000 teens at Rocky Mountain Audio Fest. And I remember the first time I heard them, I went into that room 3 times. It was clearly the best of anything out there at that show. And that was a big show back in the day. So I've loved this speaker forever. Many times thought about putting it in my room. They are a little bit wider. You need to have a little bit bigger room to put into some environments, but if you can, you can get capable of the best sound in the world, at least par with anything out there. So I wanted to share this with you. I think you'll be able to see and hear that through these music clips. So enjoy. Okay, for those who haven't seen previous videos or even the YouTube shorts that have been previewing this is the Alsyvox Caravaggios. And I've featured them in Rick's Place before, but they've been reset up. Actually, the owner-designer of Alsyvox, Daniele, has come out here and personally tweaked the setup, and they sound phenomenal, even better than when I was out here last. And also a tribute to the room treatments, ASC tube traps, which I'm a big fan of, if you've been watching my channel. Very effective in this room, which was lively before, but now just tuned perfectly. We've talked about these. I encourage you to watch my videos that go into a lot of depth with the combination of David Burning, Steve McCormick, and Ypsilon developing these massive chokes for this amplifier, which is a no-holds-barred assault on tube amplifier design with David Burning's innovative ZOTL circuit set design. You don't even want to know how much these incline cables are, because the power cables are like 6 meters, but they're phenomenal. And this is the crossover module for the Alsyvox. Incredible. You can get these versions without it, although I guess at these price points, it's just a must to have their outboard crossover module. And then the Steve McCormick distribution block, this also has star grounding, which I want to focus your attention real quick. There is no hum or hiss coming from this at all. And having a low noise floor is something I'm very adamant about, your system having no hum or hiss. Even with tube amps and very efficient speakers, this is dead quiet here, right up to the tweeter. And a lot of that has to go to the star grounding. Everything goes into one outlet, and that's one of the benefits. It's one reason why I put a distribution panel in my room, same kind of benefit. And in terms of gear, we'll walk through that real quick. I'll let Rick maybe walk through each piece and what we got going here, but you guys will probably recognize the Dohmann Helix One. Mark Dohmann has come out here and tweaked that. JR has come out and done shims and everything, calibrating the Kuzma. Is this the Sapphire?
Yeah, it's a Sapphire. It's a Kuzma Sapphire with the Lyra Atlas.
The Lyra Atlas. I featured in my Insane Tweaks short this tungsten record clamp. You don't want to know how much it is, but it's badass. And it's got speed control and a level right at the spindle. Really cool.
You guys show them this. This is actually 2 pounds, 2.2 pounds of tungsten.
Tungsten, yeah.
Tungsten, yeah.
And they've A/B'd it. I mean,
Oh yeah, we've done plenty of
if you
ABs.
got cost no object budget, this is something
It's astounding.
because you're going to need the cost no object budget for that record clamp. But
Well, that's the Orbius from
Orbius,
Area Audio
okay,
Labs.
Aria, Arya.
Yes, Arya, the Orbius. Yeah.
And I featured in some shorts a really cool record brush by Raymar, goat hair and carbon fiber, and $10 stylish brush from Amazon. So you don't have to spend a lot, whatever works sometimes.
Yes.
Also, this is Steve McCormick's preamp. That was collaboration with Rick Brown, contracted that to be designed, and the outboard power supply. And then you have some really cool, this was fairly new the last time I came out here, the M Labs DA2I.
Yeah, that's our latest iteration of their DAC, of their reference DAC.
Yeah.
And then we did have the Robert Coda here the last time.
They only make, you said,
Robert Coda Phono Stage.
they only make 12 of these per year, you said?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. They make
And
12.
it took a lot for the Lyra phono stage to get displaced, but this was it.
That was it. Yeah, no doubt.
So yeah, it's a phenomenal system. I'm going to have music clips. You're going to hear the only time I've heard jazz variants on vinyl, and that's going to be quite a treat. I'll put that either at the end of this video or in a separate video, but hope you...
I'll give a shout out for Dave Kleinbeck of Incline, because he's really gone to a place I didn't think possible with AC cords.
Is that right? Okay.
And that's the reason we're running 6.5 meter AC cords from the amplifiers. And it's really counterintuitive, because unlike interconnects that can, if you have high capacitance, you can get to the point where the longer they are, they just rolls off the top end and it ruins the sound. The longer these AC cords are, it just seems to get better and better and better.
That's interesting.
And of course, we're doing the star grounding. And then the only other thing I would point out is that we do have grounding going to each one of these speakers. So these speakers have a grounding post.
You're seeing more and more speakers with that grounding.
And you see that ground? Yes, that's another incline cable.
Tannoy, Audio Vector, more and more are, and many people are swearing by that benefit.
What's astonishing about that is that cable is, we started off with a copper cable. This is a copper and silver cable from Incline. It even sounded better. I mean, I wouldn't have believed it, but hearing is believing.
That's interesting.
So, yeah, but that's pretty much, I think that covers everything that we've done since the last
Yeah.
time we were here.
Just don't ask the prices, guys, but this is probably close to $1 million system, all in, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
When you add up the cables.
All in, it's over that.
Yeah, it's over that, actually.
It's over that.
So, yeah, reach out to Rick at Hi-Fi One. He's in beautiful Encinitas, California.
Because we do everything. We do very inexpensive systems for people all the way up. It just depends on the budget.
Yeah, cool. All right, well, thanks again, Rick.
Thank you.
It's been quite a treat. Okay, we're listening to a very rare thing here, a lacquer. Watch my YouTube shorts to get a little more detail. This is going to be the music clip, though. Very rare chance to hear lacquers on this kind of system.
The trembling trees embrace the breeze tenderly. Then you and I came wandering by, and lost in a sigh were we. The shore was kissed by sea and mist tenderly. I can't forget how two hearts met breathlessly. Your arms open wide and closed me inside. You took my lips, you took my love so tenderly. took my lips, you took my love, so
The super rare lacquer.
I was a stranger in this city, out of town where the people I knew. I had that feeling of self-pity. What to do, what to do, what to do. The outlook was decidedly blue. But as I walked through the foggy streets alone, it turned out to be the luckiest day I've known. A foggy day in London town had me low and had me down. I viewed the morning with alarm. The British Museum had lost its charm. How long, I wondered, could this thing last? But the age of miracles hadn't passed. Yes, for suddenly, baby, I saw you there. Through the fog in London town, the sun was shining everywhere. A foggy day in London town had me low and it had me down. I viewed the morning with alarm. The British Museum had lost its charm. How long I wondered, could this thing last? But the age of miracles hadn't passed, for suddenly I saw you there, and through foggy London town the sun was shining everywhere. his eyes.
Awesome.
That is awesome, huh?